What's up, you guys? Hey, thanks for watching these videos once again. In this video, I want to talk about something that it's sort of related to medicine, not directly. It is opportunity cost and lost opportunity cost, and what that means and how you can apply it to your medical career. But I'm gonna tell a story because I just came out of the bank and this super nice lady was helping me. I am actually on the way to get a new driver's license because my driver's license is expiring, so I had to get a fucking printout of my bank statement to get my address on there because I do not get them, mailed to me. I just get them electronic, and I wasn't sure if the DMV is gonna take like a printout of what I have. Anyway, so this lady was printing my account stuff out, and she's like, "Oh, Mr. Parker." First of all, I was like, cringed a little bit because I hate when I get called Mr. That's a joke. She goes, "Oh, well, you have a significant amount of money in your savings account. Did you get a letter stating that you can get a better interest rate on your savings?" I was like, "No, I did not." She's like, "Well," so basically if you have over like 25 grand, they tell you that, right? You have to put that's in savings because at the end of the year, like, I might owe taxes, and so that's what that's for. She goes, "Well, you can get an increase in your interest rate you're getting on your savings." I was like, "Really? What's the interest?" And she's like, "Well, as long as you have $25,000 in there for the year, then you'll get 1.5% return." I was like, 1.5%? That's fucking pathetic. What am I getting now? She looks it up, 0.1%. 0.1. I have like 70 grand in there, and they give me like 4 pennies a fucking month. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God. I don't really care because that money is probably gonna go to taxes or like my next thing I want to do is like get some real estate. So it doesn't matter. I said, that's okay. I appreciate it. She was super nice. I was like, I appreciate it, but I'm gonna pass. Like, there's no use of me doing paperwork to get this fucking 1.5%, this amazing return, this improved interest rate, when I know I'm gonna use that money for something else, and that really doesn't help me because I gotta keep like 25,000 or more in that thing for a year. So, and she was like, "Hey, you have until the such and such date to decide. So really think about this." I turned around, I was like, "Honey," I didn't say honey, but I wanted to say, "Let me help you. You're you're the banker. I can easily get 5% return." She's like, "Well, just think about it because that's $1,100 you would make over the year." I was like, "A 1.5%? If you just buy a condo anywhere, you could probably get easily a 5% return." I said, 1.5% is fucking, I didn't say fucking, in normal life, like I don't say that much, just to you guys and my family and my friends, and okay, most of the time, except like in public. Anyway, she's like, "Yeah, you would make $1,100. And I was like, "Yeah, but I could make 5,000 if I just put it into something else." What was an interesting thing is, like, she was not really getting the opportunity cost of like me taking that money and locking it, right? You're locking that money into a vehicle for a year, whatever, to get 1.5%, where I could take that and find another one, a vehicle to get 5, 6, 8 even. I mean, like, real estate people get more. Even if I was dicking around, I could get 5, I think. And she just was like not getting it. Like, she was trying to help me. She thought I was like lost and was like, "You're missing out on $1,100. And I was like, "No, I'd be missing out on $4,900 if I put it in this fucking piece of shit." I think that relates to medicine. It's sort of, just brought to mind like how we get talked into the wrong shit. Put your time and effort into this thing over here, and then especially these days, like, and I do this too, and so this is like me kind of talking through it as well to remind myself not to do this shit. But it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna put it over here," and then you're like, "Oh no, I'm gonna get this better return over here. Oh, look at this shiny thing over there. Oh, look at a shiny thing over there." And the reason I bring this up in this video on this channel is because a lot of people come to me and they are all over the place. They don't really know what to do, and they don't make a decision. Some people say like the worst decision is indecision. And if you don't make a decision and lock onto that, you're losing that opportunity, because the longer you're in something, whatever it is, the more experience you have, the more value you have. Most of these videos are valuable, most of them, because the time and effort I put into one fucking thing. And honestly, like, I do not envy kids these days because there's a lot of shit, and there's like I didn't even know about 99% of the shit I could have done when I was a teenager or in my 20s as I know now. So there's so much other stuff that you can like look at and say, maybe I should do that, maybe I should do that, maybe I should do that. So the challenge is really figuring out what you want in the long term and then bringing it back down to like what you do today and what you do this week and what you do this month and what you do this year. So that way they all align. It's sort of like in the book, the one thing where you have this one thing that you want. And a lot of people say like, I don't know what I want. I would argue that you probably do. You may not know what you want in your career, like exactly what you want, but you probably know your, like how you want to live later. You know how you want to feel about yourself later. 50, 60, 70 is kind of what I always shot for. What kind of person do I want to be at that time? What do I want other people to think about me? Even though like we're supposed to not have people, like we're not supposed to take that into account. I think we all do that. You don't want to be the only thing that makes you decide what you're gonna do with yourself. But I think it is somewhat of a gauge like that we can use to say, yeah, other people would think I'm a real piece of shit if I did X. I know a lot of you guys want to go into porno. You're not exactly built for it, but you don't do it because maybe, you know, your parents would think that that's not a good idea or whatever. So that's the kind of thing I'm thinking about. So I guess like what I'm saying is like when you think about this 1.5% and if I would have done that because I was just there and like, you know, she's like trying to talk me into it and stuff. And most people are like, oh, that sounds pretty good. Like I'll just increase it from 0.1 to 1.5. That sounds like a pretty good deal, but I had to think about the other things I was gonna do with that. And you gotta think about the other things that you can do, that you should do or you could do with your time. Time is the most valuable thing, not money. And you guys that are young have a lot of time, thus you had to have a lot of currency. So you have a lot of value, but it's not released yet. And you'll only get that value if you spend your time in a narrow kind of focus. If you go all over the place and spend 20 or 30 years in 20 different subjects and, you know, focuses and stuff like that, you won't have much value. You have 1 year of value. But if you take that 20 years and you focus it to one thing or one subject, medicine, for example, then you'll have lots of value. And if you focus it more into surgery or urology, and then maybe you even focus it more into, you know, robotic prostatectomies, then your value goes way high because now you've taken that time and you focused down and you didn't f with all the other dumb shit that people were throwing at you that you could have done. As a urologist, I'm sure you can do lots of different procedures, but if you focus into a robotic prostatectomy, there was actually, when I was at Henry Ford, I think his name is Manny Menon. He's basically the pioneer, or one of the pioneers of robotic prostatectomy. And that guy did not get paid the same as a normal urologist. He got paid a lot more, probably 20 times more, because he focused down and he didn't fuck around, right? He didn't get lost in lots of shiny stuff, and he realized the opportunity cost, what it's gonna cost him if he didn't focus. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like you're losing, or it's costing you value or costing you currency to f with lots of different things that are wrong ones for you. So for me, the 1.5% interest was the wrong investment. Now somebody else that doesn't have any other options is maybe a good investment, but you got to find the one that's good for you and focus on that. Hopefully I said that correctly and it came across right. I'm not really sure if I delivered that. Sometimes I'm just fucking rambling, and I hope it turns out. That's what I want you to get is it costs you a lot of value if you do chase too many things. In summary, like, you should be able to decide what you want your life to look like, how you want to perceive yourself, how you want other people to perceive yourself, and what you want to do every day when you're 40, 50, 60. And those things can point you to the career that is correct for you. Maybe it's not medicine. Medicine is definitely not for everybody. A lot of people are kind of like, I kind of want to do it, blah, blah, blah. I want to be a nurse. I want to be a PA. I want to be a pharmacist. I don't know if I want to be a doctor. Those people live different lives. They do different things every day. They're perceived differently by everybody. They're perceived differently by themselves. I think those are very important to figure out before you pull the trigger on one thing, and once you pull the trigger on that thing, remember how you want to live, what you want to be, what kind of person you want to be thought of as. Those things I think are super important, because in medicine there's a lot of shit you can do and a lot of ways you can help people. Like everyone's helping somebody, nurses, pharmacists, CNAs, like everybody, right? So that's not really the question, is whether I'm helping somebody. The question is more of, am I living how I want to live? Because a lot of surgeons are not. They're really pissed off. They're helping lots of people, but they're pissed, and that's not a great way to live. Okay, that's all the rambling I have today, but I did think it was kind of a good one. It's like really thinking when I left the bank right there. Got my wheels turning. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go get my driver's license. I'm officially a Utah resident after this, after living here for 3 years. Oops. You guys have a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff.